I've just seen your players going up for a warm down, and they're absolutely thrilled with their first Premier League point. What's your feeling?
So am I. You know, I came here today and I was hoping for our first goal and our first point. We didn't actually get the goal, but the way it turned out, it was a magnificent result for us. Even if we'd have had 11 men, you know, I'd have been delighted with a point. And to do it the way we did is another fantastic achievement, I think.
What went through your mind when you'd played so well for 25 minutes and then there was this spot of bother on the edge of the penalty area and a red card for Richard Rufus?
Yeah, I just saw a few bodies mingling around, and in all fairness, I said to them before the game, you know, set plays in the Premiership, you know, lots of games are won and lost, and you've got to be there and you've got to stand up for yourself. I think there was a bit of tugging at each other's shirts and everything else, and I haven't seen the incident. I wouldn't condone it if he's struck out at the guy, but he should know that there's so many cameras around that even if he'd have got away with it, he might have got later on. He might have been caught up with it. But I just felt we played so well, and everything we'd worked on all week was working. And the biggest disappointment with me was that I had to bring Andy Hunt off, who was looking as if he was really enjoying himself, and you know, he's very disappointed. But that was it, and you know, I felt that for the next hour we was going to be under a lot of pressure.
But it didn't actually work out like that because really everybody worked so hard. Yeah,
you know, I said earlier that it's not the easiest thing in the world to play against 10 men. You know, everyone gets behind the ball and they share the responsibility. There's a little bit of collective spirit in there if you hold out for some time like we did. But we, as a team, have had that sort of spirit, and that was what has got us where we are, aided and abetted by some football ability in there. But, you know, we're highly delighted. Everything's worked for us today, and we might have nicked all 3 points with Steve.
Everybody is expecting you to go straight back down, of course. What's your reply?
Well, I think it's the obvious choice. You know, you see these teams yo-yoing most years, teams that got promoted, and I think last year with the 3 going straight back down, Barnsley, Bolton and Crystal Palace, then we're the obvious choice for most people. But we've took that on board. You know, we spoke about it a couple of times. I think the players have even shown that I'm 6-4 favourite to be sacked as well. They left that on the table the other day. But no, we've got to take it with a pinch of salt. I think that the main thing for us is to stay really focused. And it's week in, week out. I don't think, you know, it's not a cluster of games. You play one game and then you play the next one, and that's how we're going to be focused on it.
Of course, you don't need me to underline that your resources will be stretched, particularly if you keep getting players sent off, as happened yesterday. Richard Rufus, of course. And you got a 0-0, as I said, for the most part, with 10 men, but you can't afford to let this keep happening, can you?
No, I mean, I spoke about it before the game and asked the defenders, especially at set plays, to be more alert and more, if you like, physical, because I think the Premiership is, especially when they're jostling for position. I don't think Richard Rufus intentionally went to hit that player. I think that he was held. He was actually marking Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer went, and I think he just wanted to get after him. And I think it was a harsh decision, you know, but we took it on the chin. And
I don't think you're alone. Andy, incidentally, will be running, of course, through all the weekend's goals tomorrow night. I think he shares your opinion. But credit Dabizas with not going down, I would have thought, as we saw during the World Cup once or twice. Players have done in that situation, haven't they?
Yeah, I think the ref was right there, and I think perhaps a booking would have been enough, but I think because the guy got cut, I think it made it perhaps look worse than what it was. But we was very disappointed with the decision, but we got on with it, and up until then it was a very good game. You know, it was end-to-end stuff. We had a couple of chances, so did they. But then obviously once someone gets sent off, it changed the whole format of the game.
Barnsley took so long to get going last year, but they're forming the second half of the season. Had they been able to match it in the earlier months, would have saved them. What would your target be this year?
Well, I spoke to Neil Redfearn about that. You know, it was our first signing, and perhaps he felt that Barnsley concentrated too much on the other teams in the first half of the season.
What, concerned by them?
Yeah, concerned about individual, concerned about the way the other team played, and perhaps never really got going themselves until halfway through the season when they decided, look, let's give this a right go. We will go out and play the way we like to play, and the results picked up. The way we see it is we can't be naive enough not to think about who we're playing against. So we'll have to play a little bit different to we did last year. But certainly we're not going to stop trying to play the way we played, and hopefully that'll be enough.
And a good season's what, 4th from bottom?
I think most people would say that. You know, most seasons in the old First Division, you need 50 points before you can start thinking about anything else. Apparently we need 40, and we've got 1.
So that's true. And 37 games to get the rest.
That's it.